All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So I have a lot of new people this semester. So I want to make a request. If everyone can turn on their cameras, if it's possible that you're presentable and you can actually come on camera, that would be awesome, at least for me to see you at least once to get to put a face with the name. That would be great. I think there's only one person here I've had, Anaí. I think you're the only person I've had before. Everybody else is brand new, so I want to be able to recognize, I want to be able to recognize you. Okay. All right, it's 6:30. I think we have most people on here already, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I wanted to touch base with you guys. This is our second week. I think most of you have already started your field hours. Some of you, I think there was at least one person, maybe two, that didn't have a field yet. If that was you, do you have your internship now? Have you started your hours yet?
No, I haven't started.
Okay, who said that?
Deanna.
All right, so you haven't started yet. Do you have a placement?
Today I got a application from the UT North Behavioral Health Center. So I'm doing that. And in the morning I'm getting my shot records and sending it to them. So hopefully I can get started by next week.
Okay, so you've applied there and everything?
Yes.
And you had the interview?
They said they wasn't going to do an interview. They just want me to fill out the paperwork and do the some survey. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. Okay. Was there anybody else last week that said they didn't have a placement, or is there anybody on here?
It was me. I have gotten approved for a field at my place of employment, but I haven't started my hours yet. Was there like a next step or something that I needed to do in between? I know Mr. Brumley just approved the application yesterday.
Okay, so he approved it yesterday.
Yes.
So then that means that you can go ahead and get started. So you need to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once he approves it, then that means it's okay. You can go ahead and do your internship there. So you get to communicate with whoever is going to be your field instructor, and you guys can work out a schedule and figure out what exactly you're going to be doing.
Okay, sure thing. Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And since, oh yeah, well, I've had Karen. I just hadn't seen her. I had her online last semester and we didn't really do videos. So another thing too, I guess I'll just go ahead and let you like say your name. That way I can get the pronunciation right, because I'm very bad with names. And so if I hear it, I'll be able to maybe remember it. It takes me a while to learn names, but if I don't hear you say your name, I'm pretty sure I'm going to say it wrong. So just say your name and I guess just how the internship's going so far. You want to start up top with Karen?
Okay, my name is Karen Alexander, and yes, I did have you last semester. My internship is going fine. I'm doing mine at my place of employment as well with CPS, and I'm working in the adoption preparation unit.
Okay, awesome.
Kind of just continuing from last semester.
Okay, so this is your second semester?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
My name is Isaac Bivens. I'm doing my field placement in my place of employment as well. I work at a nonprofit organization. It's under the TFI initiative, and basically just helping young men and just basically get them involved in the community, just finding different stuff for them to do.
Awesome. And is this your first or second or third?
My first year.
Okay, first. All right.
My name is Anaí. I'm doing my internship with the CPIU with UT Southwestern, and this is my last semester.
All right. I can't call on you because I don't want to say your name wrong.
My name is Camry. Camry spelled wrong, pronounced like
like the car.
Yeah, that's the easiest way for me to tell people. I'm also one of those lucky people that are getting to do my intern. Well, lucky, not lucky. People that are getting intern hours at my place of employment. Yeah, it can't go nowhere. But I'm actually doing my intern in the life skills department. So we work with foster youth who are in care, ages 14 to 16, doing assessments to basically see where they need to be as far as their life skills, and then doing life skills classes remotely and in class. In the field and in the classroom. Of course, because of everything that's going on right now, we're just doing them all remotely. Still bring the presenters and stuff in to do the classes.
Okay. All right.
I'll go. My name is Shelby, and I'm also doing my internship with CPS, which is where I work. I am in the centralized placement unit, locating placements for our foster kids. But I actually finished my hours on Monday, so I am done with my field placement. This is my last semester.
Oh, okay. So you're done completely with hours.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Who wants to go next? Go ahead.
Hi, so I'm
Oh.
Celeste. This is my last semester of the program, and so I completed my hours. I want to say it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, officially.
Mhm.
I was at the International Rescue Committee, working really closely with refugees and women towards the end,
Mhm.
and helping create that grant and that pilot program for them.
Awesome. So I guess you're graduating as well?
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome. And you said it was Celeste, right?
Yes, Celeste.
All right. I can call.
Okay.
people.
Obviously, I can go now.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cherokee Daniels. I am a foster home developer for Agape Manor Home Child Placing Agency. So I deal primarily with foster care and adoption. My placement will be with case management because I have no clue what goes on that side. So it'll be definitely insightful. My job role right now, I'll say, is pretty much recruiting new parents to become licensed for foster care. So normally when anyone is interested, I'm the trainer. I collect all of the documents until they are licensed. Then I pass them to the case manager. So now I'll get to see exactly what goes on when they're passed. So I'm excited to know that I can start now.
Awesome. Yes, you can go ahead and get started.
Yes.
And wait, this is your first semester, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm Jade. I am placed at the Rape Crisis Unit at Parkland in Dallas. Today, we are still trying to do requirements because it's a lot more than any other placements. And then I will start on intakes and then doing the assessments for children.
Okay. I guess we have. Go ahead.
My name is Amanda Brackens. I am employed at Child Protective Services. I'm in the conservatorship part. So basically, I am working with families after children have already been removed to either place them back with the parents, with the foster parent. I'm going to be my intern is with CPS, but it's with Family-Based Safety Services, so in a different department. And I started last week, like looking at some of their videos and things that they do on their side. And so that's where I'm going to do my intern.
Okay. And then we have, last but not least, Danielle. Wait, are you frozen? Danielle, if you just want to tell us a little bit about where you're placed. Okay, still no volume. Okay, you can also do it in the chat. You can post something in the chat. You can just use the chat if you don't have any audio. All right, so while he's posting in the chat, so next thing, how many of you, well, all of you should have at this point had purchased and applied through TK20. Everybody has done that, right? So everybody has TK20? Anybody on here does not have TK20? All right, good. So I don't think you have access yet, right? Are you able to go into TK20 and see, oh, you are? Okay, because the last time I checked, I didn't have any students in there yet. But if you are able to go into TK20, so you have to make sure that you fill out your learning plan or your learning contract. So that's one of the big things. Your learning plan, learning contract, I can't remember what name we're going by lately, but basically that's the contract between you and the agency. For those of you who this is your first semester, for those of you who this is your second or last semester, you're familiar with what I'm talking about. That means you already have one in TK20, you just have to update it for your last semester or for your second semester. Okay, for those of you who this is your very first semester, you're gonna have to go in and manually type up your learning contract into TK20, okay? The thing about that, I know in the past when I've taught this class, what most students have done is print off the hard copy. So they print off the paper copy and they sit down with their field instructor. Your field instructor is your supervisor at work, the one that's gonna sign off on your paperwork. So you take the paper copy and you sit down with them and you kind of go through the whole different, or all of the concepts or competencies that are on that learning plan that you need to meet. So the learning plan has several different competencies that you need to meet by the time you graduate. So by the time you get to your third semester. It does not mean that you have to complete all those activities in one semester. It just means that by the time the third semester rolls around, before you can finish all your hours, you need to make sure that all of those things have been checked off. You've done activities in each one of those competencies. There's also a checklist, okay? If you don't have that checklist yet, especially you guys who are graduating, you may want to grab that checklist and look at your learning plan from the past semesters and check off all of the competencies that you've met. Because to be able to graduate, you have to complete all of those competencies. For those of you who this is your first semester, I would go ahead and get that right away, and I would just keep track of it every semester. I do something, check it off, and you can also upload that into TK20 and that can be saved in there, okay? Now, when you're typing up your learning plan, for those of you who are new, you have to manually type it in. That's why I said take a hard copy, sit with your field instructor, go over it, fill it out, and then when you have time, what you can do is you sit down and you type everything up into TK20 because it won't let you upload it. If you upload it, it won't show up and your field instructor won't be able to go in and evaluate you at the end of the semester. So you have to manually type it in. Once you type it in, you can hit, it's not, I think you can hit save, but you can't hit submit. If you submit, it's not gonna do anything. You cannot submit until semester 3 when you're done with all your internship hours. So if you try to submit in semester 1 or semester 2, it's not gonna work. It's gonna give you an error message. So every time you do something, I think you either save it or you update it, but you're not submitting. Okay, for those of you who this is your third semester, at the end of the semester, once you completed all your hours, once you have all your paperwork in there, once your field instructor has evaluated you, filled out that part of it, then you can hit submit once everything is completed, once it's your third semester, okay? Any questions in terms of how to access TK20, how to do anything in TK20? I know it's probably a lot harder with it being online, but I will probably email you guys and even upload into our D2L shell instructions and things like that for you guys, especially for those of you who this is your first semester. It'll have specific instructions on the website that you go on and how to do certain things.
Hey, Dr. Smith, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why I keep having issues with the audio on my computer.
Okay, so the phone is you as well, right?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is Daniel Pineda. This is my second semester of advanced, but I'm doing a block, so I'm doing my second and third internship this semester.
Okay. So
I'm currently interning with CPS, with CPU, the Child Placement Unit, and I think I should be done by the beginning of November with my hours.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you graduating this semester?
No, I graduate next semester.
Okay.
In the spring.
Because if I remember correctly, the way TK20 works, I'm not sure how it works with a block, but from what I remember from the past, my students that had a block, what happened was we had to do 2 separate semesters for them. So you would have to start semester 2 and then fill out semester 3. Okay.
Yeah, so I checked TK20 and it's broken down by semester 2 and 3.
Okay.
So I'm doing 160 hours for 2 and then 140 for the third semester.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you know that you have to do both.
Okay, yeah, I do.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I guess, has anybody not been able to access TK20 yet? Okay, well, it seems like everybody's done that. Awesome. All right, so in terms of what's required of you from TK20, first we have the learning plan, right? That one, I want to say is due next week, if I can remember correctly. Let me pull up my syllabus.
While you're doing that, I have a question. First question is, because I know that hours were like switched around and decreased, are we back to the original amount of hours that we needed, or are we still doing decreased hours, or what are the hours that are required?
I want to say it was decreased hours for people graduating by the fall, which was if you're graduating this semester.
Okay, so it's still 160 then. See, because I can't remember, and it was such a mess last semester trying to figure it out, and we was just like, we'll get hours and pray that we got enough, or if we have, that's fine as well.
So I can double check with Mr. Bromley on that again, just to verify how long that's going on, because that was the first original plan. But since we're still, I feel like nothing's changed since it started. COVID's still the same. So I'm gonna double check with that and see if anything changed on that end. But generally, it used to be where it's 240 hours for your spring and fall, and then 160 for the summer. But then with the reduced hours, it's completely different. So I'm gonna.
He told me that it was until May of 2021.
Okay, so it's the next semester.
Unless your field agency has a minimum amount of 240, then it's like 183 a semester.
Yeah, I would say I knew it wasn't. I knew the last time, I just couldn't remember. I remember at first it was like 1 something, and then I don't know if they switched it or what they were doing. So yeah,
Okay, so that means it runs over till the spring, the end of spring. So if you're graduating in the end of spring, you're good to go. If you still have another semester summer, I guess then your hours may be a little different in the summer. But as far as fall and spring, it looks like everything's still the same in terms of your hours. All right, so going over a little bit about, here's my office hours. So here's what I'm doing. We are meeting like every other Tuesday at 6:30 on Wednesdays, just to, connect with each other, have that engagement, a little interaction. We're doing that every other Wednesdays at 6:30. I also have virtual office hours. So I'm gonna be online in our classroom. So basically in our D2L shell, I'm gonna be available from 11 to 12 on Tuesdays. So let's say for some reason you know that you're not able to make it that Wednesday for that week, and I'm available every Tuesday from 10 to 11 for this class, or from 11 to 12 for this class. If you can jump into the virtual office and connect with me somehow, ask me a question, and we have a little one-on-one interaction for a little bit, that counts as your engagement for that week, okay? So if you're able to do that, then you can do that. However, if not, then you're required to join in on the weekly live chats that we do. Again, if you can't make it, you can also reach out to me and say, Dr. Smith, I'm not able to make it this week. However, I'm going to be available for, a few minutes on this day at this time. Are you available? Okay. And then I can see if I can work out my schedule where I can do a live chat with you on a day and time that you're available. Okay. Because we're trying to work with you guys to make sure that we're having that interaction with you guys, and we're not just having you out there online and not having any interaction with you. So engagement is like a part of the grade this semester. So we're trying to make sure everybody's participating in those. And we do still want to accommodate you if you are not able to make the meetings every Wednesday that we have one, but you need to communicate that with me. So if you know you can't make it, just please let me know. Or if it was just an emergency that you just couldn't make it that day, as soon as that happens, at least by the next day, reach out to me and said, I missed this week's live chat. Can we set up a time that we can just have a chat? I mean, it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, but we have some kind of a connection that week, okay? Email is the best way to reach me, just because I have all online classes this semester, so I'm not on campus. So if you call, you can still call and leave a voicemail, but email is gonna be way faster. Okay, so moving on to your schedule. So this is what our schedule is going to look like this semester. Last week was our first week and we had a discussion. Then this week we're having our live chat. I'm going to need some information from you guys. I need your field instructor contact information. So I need their name, their email, and a possible phone number if you can get that, okay? So what you can do is you can just email those to me. So email me your field instructor contact information. That way I can verify with TK20 that information is accurate. A lot of times your field instructor, you may have a certain field instructor, or for some reason it's listed as one thing in TK20, but your actual instructor is someone completely different. So normally I need to verify that what you're providing to me is the same thing that's in TK20, make sure we have the right person. Because if, let's say you guys got a new supervisor, or the person left and you got someone new, or whatever the reason is as to why we have a completely different person in TK20, once the end of the semester comes and they have to evaluate you, they won't have access. The access is specific to your field instructor. So your field instructor has access through their email. And if that changed for some reason, then at the end of the semester, you're going to run into problems when your field instructor is trying to log in to evaluate you and they have no access. So it's very important that I get that information. So if possible, before Sunday night, if you can email me that information, their name, their phone number, and email address. You should also have your MSW practicum acceptance agreement that can be uploaded into TK20, okay? That's also due by the end of this week, which is the Sunday night of this week, okay? Then next week, we're gonna have our discussion. We're gonna have a discussion, so we won't have a live session. So basically, if you look at the schedule, it's basically 1 in, 1 out. Every other week we have a live session, and then the other week we just have a discussion, just to kind of, help you guys if you're doing your internship hours or you have other things going on. We can't expect you to just be present here every single week. We also have a safety plan. I need to see if I have access to my TK20 yet and see if that's in there. If not, I'm going to email you guys the safety plan, and you just need to fill it out and upload it to TK20. For those of you who this is your second or third semester, did you guys do this last semester or the semester before? Do you have one? If you already have one in there, and you're at the same placement and nothing's changed, you don't have to upload a new one. Okay.
I already have one, and I'm doing the
Okay.
internship at the same place.
Awesome. So if nothing's changed, it's the same thing, then it's uploaded, then you're good to go. For those of you who don't have one yet, you need to upload one. For those of you who are, this is your first semester, then that means you probably don't have one yet. So I will still email this out to everyone. And that way, if you don't have one yet, you can fill it out and upload it. And that's going to be due, I guess, week 4. Okay, so also around week 8, I'm going to start scheduling your virtual field visit. So this is where I'm going to schedule a Zoom with you and your field instructor. So I'll also ask that before week 8, so maybe around week 7, I should have your schedule. You should be able to, if you have access to TK20, you should be able to go in there and fill in your schedule. That way I can look at your schedule and see what days and times you're available. Or what's even better is that you know what your schedule is like and you know what your supervisor's schedule is like. So you can talk with your field instructor maybe around week 6 or 7, and I'll remind you guys of this. And you can just say that we need to set up a virtual schedule or virtual visit, and what would be a good day and time for us to have that. And that way you can just email me and let me know this is what works for me and my supervisor, and then I can schedule you guys in, okay? I will still reach out to your field instructor, but it's probably easier for you to connect with them to find out what works best for them, okay? And then we'll just set that up. All right, so the last week, which is week 14, so the last day of classes will be the week of the 23rd. So here's what's going on. When we made out the schedule, we decided that we were going to end the semester the week of Thanksgiving. So since our live sessions are on a Wednesday night, it's basically the day before Thanksgiving. Now, we can always change that to week 13, or we can have a session maybe that Monday or Tuesday. I don't think I have one Monday that week, and I'm also free on Tuesday. So we can decide to just have the meeting on Monday or Tuesday that week, so we don't have to have it the day before Thanksgiving. I really would like to have a meeting with you guys that last week, simply because that's the last week of the semester. And I want to make sure that I can touch base with you, especially if you have not uploaded all your stuff. I have run across where at the end of the semester, students' evaluations have not been completed yet, or the student hasn't submitted something, their timesheets are not all in there. I cannot give you a grade without your completed timesheets and without the completed evaluation from your field instructor. So it's really important that I have that last meeting with you guys that week to be able to talk to you and say, all right, you're missing this and you're missing that. Because a lot of times I reach out to students via email and I don't get a return, I don't get a response. And so, especially you guys who are graduating, you wanna make sure that you get your grades in, right? So we can schedule that either at Monday or Tuesday if you guys like, or we can just keep it on Wednesdays. Whatever works best is fine by me. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so just wanted to share this story with you guys. Some of you are graduating, some of you, this is your second semester, and some of you, you're brand new. Well, a lot of times we tell students about stories about things that happen at field internships, and students are in disbelief. They can't believe a student did that. Well, it happens, and we talk about this all the time because we're in disbelief that this is still going on, right? At the graduate level, you guys should know what professional behavior is and what is required of you at these internships and what is acceptable, what is not. And we just hope that you just follow those. But anyway, so we have a student, or we had a student where this student was interning at this place. The student gave out their personal phone number to a client. The student accepted a ride from the client to the field internship. So the student did not have a car, and he or she agreed to get in a car with the client to get a ride to her internship to complete her hours. What do you guys think? Does that sound like ethical behavior for the field of social work? What was wrong with that? How many things are wrong with that? What's the first thing that was wrong?
Oh, giving her number. That was the first thing.
Giving out your personal phone number to your clients. Somebody else says something else?
Wouldn't that be a dual relationship?
Yes, that's definitely a dual relationship. Somebody said conflict of interest. Yes, you don't share your personal information with client, not contact information. If that's your work phone, that's okay because it's your work phone, but not your personal phone. You never accept a ride with a client, not unless you're transporting that client, because that's a part of your responsibility. That's a part of your job, okay? And I know you may be like, duh, everybody knows that. Well, we taught everybody knew that, right? So another example, we had a student that was doing their internship at this other place, and they came in. So usually when you come in, you have to clock in, and then when you leave out, you clock out when you leave out. Well, this student would come in through the front door, clock in, leave out the back door, and go, come back at the end of the day and clock out. What is wrong with that?
Where did they get their undergraduate degree?
Yeah, that's what I would like to know. I mean, how are you expecting to get credit for something that you're not doing, right? How are you gaining the knowledge and skills that you need for the profession? That, first of all, you're being dishonest. In the field of social work, honesty and integrity is a big deal. How are you just ignoring all of these things and expect to be a social worker? So in the field of social work and in your internship, sometimes you may feel like, oh, you know, this is beneath me, or I feel like I'm a graduate student, I should be doing more than that, or I shouldn't be doing this. Well, that's kind of what the student was going through. The student felt like, oh, so basically at the place, I think somebody said that they're doing their internship at a child advocacy center.
That was me, but it changed.
Okay.
They don't have 5 interns. So.
Oh, okay, so you changed? Okay, well, this was like at the Child Advocacy Center. It was not the one that you were going to. It was one that I did my internship at. But anyways, I loved it there. And this student was having a hard time, I guess, accepting some of her roles at the internship. So at that internship, basically, they have CPS, they have police officers. There's so many different things housed in that one building, right? So it's like a multidisciplinary team where you work together with each other. So I remember for me, one of our responsibility was that we had to do 1 or 2 hours of childcare every week. So whenever parents would come in and they come in for therapy or counseling or whatever, or they were doing supervised visit with their children or things like that. Sometimes they have children with them that needs to be supervised, right? They need childcare. And so we as the interns, we had to spend at least 1 or 2 hours each week taking turns in that room, providing childcare to those kids. And so the intern thought that that was not a part of social work and that was not something that she should be doing. She's a graduate level student. Well, sometimes we may feel like it's beneath us or that's not what we're supposed to do, but can we find a learning experience from that? There's so many learning experiences from providing childcare to kids. Those kids are kids that are around a certain environment, right? They are there for a specific reason. Maybe they were abused. Maybe they witnessed abuse. Maybe there's so many different things that's going on with those kids, and you have a chance to interact with those kids. You're getting knowledge and skills. You're learning how to interact with children and how to interact with children who may be in foster care and different things like that. So there's so many things that you can still learn from those experiences, even though that, yes, if you were working a paying job, maybe that's not what you would be doing, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. So think about that as you guys are still in the field, doing your internship, preparing for the bigger world, and just take every experience as a learning experience. It may not be the best experience. It may be challenging, or you may feel like, I know all this stuff. Why am I still doing it? Just look at the bright side. Look at the experience as a learning experience, and as a stepping stone for later on when you go out in the field. Okay, I just thought I'll share that with you guys so that you can know what's going on out there. And one day you'll be out in the field. You'll actually be a supervisor. You'll be doing, you'll be having interns coming to you. And just want to let you know what's going on out there so you can look out for stuff like that and be prepared that, hey, these things are still happening, even though we have specific, ethical guidelines that we have to follow. These things are still going on. So hopefully it's a learning experience that by the time you do get your license, then those things don't happen, because guess what? As a student, you may get dropped from the class, or you may get kicked out from the internship. But when you graduate and you get your license, you get your license taken away. So it's a bigger repercussion later on when you have your license. So hopefully these are learning experiences for you before you get your license. That way, once you do get that, you know, okay, it's going to be way worse if this happens now that I have my license. Okay. All right. So any questions for me? Do you guys have any questions about anything? Is everything going fine with your internships? No challenges? Everything okay? Yes, thumbs up if everything's okay. I'm gonna do like my third grader does. He's doing virtual school, and the teacher always said, do a thumbs up because you're all muted, so I can't hear if you're saying yes. All right, well, just a few minutes to answer any questions, anything. You guys have any questions for me or anything? No?
I have a question. I know that you said regarding the field hours that you would talk to Mr. Brimley. So it's related to that, so maybe I should just wait because I wanted to start creating the learning plan and everything. I just wanted to make sure that, I'm putting the right amount of hours needed for the semester.
So in your learning plan, your hours don't go on there. It's only,
okay.
Yeah, on the learning plan itself, your hours are not on there. All you put on there are the activities that you're going to be doing for each one of those competencies. So your timesheet is where you complete each week as to how many hours you completed that week. But there's nothing that goes in writing as this is how many hours I'm going to do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else, guys? No? All right. Well, it was great to put a face with the name. So now I know who you are. And we'll chat next week with a discussion. And then I guess I'll see you guys back here in 2 weeks. But if you have another thing that I want you guys to know, if you run into any problems, if you're facing any challenges, anything going on that I need to know about, please reach out to me immediately. Please don't wait till things get really bad and then I have your supervisor calling me, telling me this is what's going on. This student's not gonna pass the semester, or we need to let the student go or something like that. So if there's any challenges with you or a coworker or your supervisor, anything that you feel that is going on where you feel like you can't handle, please reach out to me. I'm the person that's the go-between between you and your field instructor. So I'm the liaison. So if there's anything going on that you can't resolve yourself, please reach out to me. And that way I can reach out to your supervisor and try to resolve it way before, it gets too bad. I've had it in the past where the student didn't say anything and just waited, and then close to the end of the semester, it was too late to fix. So please don't do that. I'm here for anything related to your current placement, anything that you're having problems with, or you feel like, look, for example, one student waited till the end of the semester to tell me that they weren't getting any experience, that they're basically were doing answering phones or doing paperwork or something. They really weren't getting any experience. And if I had known that way before, I could have done something. So by the time I found out about it, I scheduled a meeting with the supervisor, but it was too close to the end of the semester. It was too late. And it was her third semester. And I'm like, you went all 3 semesters and didn't say anything to your other field liaisons. And now it's like the end of the semester, you're about to graduate and you feel unprepared. Don't do that. If it's your first semester, you still need to bring it up. That way we can, whenever we have a meeting with your field instructor, we can talk about, so what's the plan for the future? What is the student gonna do next semester and things like that. And just to make sure that you have something in place where you are gonna get that experience. So please don't wait till last minute. All right. Okay, well, if you have no other questions, then this is all I have. You guys have a good rest of your week. And like I said, just reach out to me if you have any questions. All right. Okay, have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.